If you're a Batman fan and you talk to other Batman fans, the question, who is the best Robin, will come up a lot. And surprisingly, I think there's actually an objectively true answer to this question. I want to clarify right at the beginning, I'm talking about who is the best Robin, not who is your favorite Robin. Because I think it's important to say that there's a big difference between those two questions. The best Robin is who is the best at being Robin, and your favorite is who is your favorite Robin. That's kind of self-explanatory. I don't know why I just explained that to you. I don't think you're stupid. I'm sorry if it seems like I think you're stupid. They say to over-explain things in YouTube videos. I also want to say that I'm only going to be going over the main 4 Robins in this video. And between you and me, there's a lot more than 4. I'm just going to be going over Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Damian Wayne. And if you're new to Batman, you might be thinking, there can't be many more than that, right? I can think of 10 characters that have been Robin at one point or another in time. And I'll bring up a few more of them later, I guess. I don't know. But I'm going to go through the 4 most popular and explain how I see them in the hopes that you will understand what I'm trying to say here.
Get excited to find out who the best Robin is. We're gonna figure it out right now.
Let's go in chronological order and start with Dick Grayson. We see Dick Grayson as Robin in season 1 of Young Justice, and we also see him as Robin in Batman the Animated Series. They're not connected. I don't know why I said it like that. They're not in the same universe. He was trained in acrobatics in the circus, which is where he grew up and where he watched his parents die. Yippee! He's probably the most agile Robin, and he's silly. He's got a good sense of humor and a cool personality, which is interesting when you work with someone like Batman who has no sense of humor. He's good at balancing Batman out, because Batman's very serious, and Dick Grayson is serious when he needs to be, but is also good at like lightening the mood and making quips when things get kind of dark. Since he is the first Robin and he did such a good job at it, he's kind of the template for the other Robins going forward. He inevitably leaves being Robin behind to become Nightwing, and in most iterations, he becomes Nightwing because he fundamentally disagrees with the way Batman handles criminals. He feels Bruce is too brutal and aggressive, and he wants to become more of a symbol of hope. Next up chronologically is Jason Todd. Jason was Robin. It kind of feels like Bruce wanted just like Dick Grayson 2.0, and Jason couldn't really be that. He was great as Robin in his own ways, but he was very different personality-wise from Dick Grayson. Instead of balancing out Batman's aggression and rage, he kind of went with it, and they were like a pretty brutal duo. In some cases, Batman had to be the more nice one. Personally, I think the best thing Jason Todd did as Robin was die. It sounds like I'm making like an edgy joke, but I'm serious. Jason coming back as Red Hood was awesome. I feel like him as Robin, he was constantly in Dick Grayson's shadow, but he really got to be his own person as Red Hood. One of my favorite feats by Jason Todd is when Supergirl says that he hits harder than any human should be able to punch. Plus, Red Hood's suit is one of the like coolest ever. Like, look at this. Next up in the best Robin debate is the 3rd Robin, Tim Drake. After Jason Todd died, Tim realized that Batman had become more brutal, so he figured out that Bruce Wayne was Batman, and he asked Dick Grayson to be Robin again. But Nightwing was like, nah, I'm good. Tim would eventually go on to become the next Robin. I feel like Tim's Robin is a perfect match for Bruce because he's a combination of the first 2 Robins while still bringing his own personality to the table. Tim's Robin specializes in intelligence. I also feel like I said, he works the best with Batman. They can kind of do a good cop, bad cop routine because Tim was a fan of Batman before he worked with him. They're a lot better at staying out of each other's way. He's definitely a fan favorite in the best Robin debate. The final character in the best Robin debate is Damian Wayne. Damian is an annoying, bratty child. But it's okay because he's supposed to be like that. They wrote him like that. It's not an accident. It's supposed to happen. Damian is the child of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul, and he was raised by the League of Assassins, so he's an incredible fighter. It's kind of funny. Most fights where I'm like, Damian's about to get destroyed. Somehow he just wins, and I'm like, what? His dynamic with Bruce as Batman is really interesting because it kind of feels like Bruce is getting a taste of his own medicine. Like, you know when Batman says something really rude, but nobody can say anything about it because it's like,
That's true.
I actually really like the dynamic with Dick Grayson as Batman and Damian Wayne as Robin, because it kind of flips your expectation of how these characters are supposed to act in reverse. Batman's the lighthearted one, and Robin's the dark one. Writers have mellowed him out a lot more recently, and now he's just kind of like chill, most of the time. Some of the time. Sometimes he's still really annoying. Some honorable mentions for good Robins, though, would be Stephanie Brown, Carrie Kelly, and I think Duke Thomas was Robin at one point. I just think Signal's cool, so I'm putting that in there. But honestly, I don't think talking about any additional Robins will really change the point that I'm trying to make in this video. So let me finally answer the 2 questions that I posed at the beginning of this video. Who is my favorite Robin, and who is the best Robin? My personal favorite Robin is Dick. I love him as a person. He's the OG, and I think he just represents everything that a hero should be. And I actually think that the best Robin is Tim Drake. He's the only one who's at their best when they're Robin. Dick Grayson's better as Nightwing, Jason Todd's better as Red Hood, and Damian doesn't really follow the rules of being Robin anyway. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, but I think Tim's are most compatible with Batman. I feel like most of what I said is pretty agreeable, but if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Also, Spider-Man 2 comes out in 5 days, so be ready for that to be my entire life. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.